Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Well, vaping has been in the news lately as there's a mysterious illness linked to vaping that has been going across the country with thousands of cases. Well, one medical center in Kansas is using a vape robot to study the long-term effects that e-cigarettes might have on users. And our colleague Zach Summers from Fox 4 in Kansas City had a report on that earlier this week.
When you hear vaping is safe, be careful what that means.
Dr. Motial Salate has always been skeptical of the perception that somehow vaping is safer than smoking.
So the lungs are exposed to a gigantic concentration of nicotine.
The pulmonologist and his team of researchers at the University of Kansas Medical Center are using this vaping robot to try to get to the truth.
We isolate airway epithelial cells, these cells that line the airways, and we put them into a culture system so they look like and they behave like the regular cells that human beings have in their bodies.
The robot takes the e-cigarette and sucks the vapor containing nicotine into a receptacle and then exposes it to those cells.
So we can determine exactly how much nicotine exposure there is, how much vaping exposure there is. We can then also inhibit pathways.
The exposed cells allow researchers to examine possible inflammation.
They show that when you vape cells, meaning that they're exposed to vapor, that they start to have inflammatory changes.
Dr. Salate says that inflammation can make it hard to clear the mucus in your airways, similar to smoking cigarettes, which could lead to lung or respiratory issues.
There's a clear reduction in the vape compared to the cigarette smoke. But the reduction doesn't necessarily translate into it's safe.
He says while it may take decades before we truly know the effects of vaping, the absence of evidence doesn't mean it's safe.
Well, we want to bring in Zach Summers now from Fox 4 in Kansas City. Zach, thanks for being here. What were some of your main takeaways from covering this story?
Well, point blank, don't vape. Dr. Salate was very adamant about that throughout our entire interview. But I think one of the most shocking moments during our interview was when he compared the amount of nicotine that's in, let's say, a cigarette versus your traditional vaping pen. In one cigarette, there's about 1 to 1.5 milligrams of nicotine. In a vaping pen, like a Juul pen, there's about 55 milligrams. And Dr. Salate was like, when you're smoking a cigarette, you're not inhaling all of that nicotine because you're taking breaks during that smoke break. But with a Juul pen, or with a vaping pen rather, every time that pen touches your mouth, you're inhaling all of that nicotine. So that was probably one of the biggest takeaways from it. But again, he says, just don't do it.
Absolutely. And when you're talking about, a lot of teens, these devices, the juices are flavored, whether or not they're marketed at teens, they may or may not be, but a lot of teens are using these devices. Was the doctor concerned at all that there is such a high number of teenagers that are taking part in with e-cigarettes and vaping?
Yeah, that's one of his when we were talking, he said he has two separate groups. You have the group who smokes and they're trying to vape maybe to stop smoking. And then you have the teens who have never smoked, who are attracted to these flavors, but what they don't realize is that flavor is just masking the taste of nicotine. And he says, you get these teens addicted to a drug at an early age, then how are you going to get them off of it? He alludes it back to when cigarettes first came out. It's just another way that nicotine has evolved.
Definitely. Now, there has been this severe lung illness that's been going around the country. Thousands of cases now have been reported, and I believe 19 deaths so far. Was the doctor concerned at all that this could possibly get worse before it gets better across the country?
Well, Dr. Salate was very careful with those numbers because it's important to point out that of those lung injuries that have occurred and the deaths, those have mostly been linked to people tampering with the cartridges that are linked to those vape pens. So, and those cartridges have THC. So while he's not quick to jump on this is a problem, he does say, based on his research that he's done so far, what this vaping does to the airways could potentially down the road lead to lung or respiratory issues. So while his research isn't conclusive at this point, he thinks that it's raising some red flags that, decades down the road we'll start to see come to fruition in people who vape.
Definitely, and I mean, you can just look. He said that some of these devices do cause, in those studies, inflammation in the lungs, and it's as similar to how cigarettes do. And I think a lot of times when you talk about vaping, it's oftentimes labeled as a safe alternative to cigarettes. But Dr. Salate is saying that it is pretty much everything but a safe alternative, if you will.
Yeah, that's for sure. He nailed home the point several times in our interview that there's that massive concentration of nicotine in those pens. And I'll go back to the beginning of this interview when he compares the amount of nicotine in a traditional cigarette to that of a vaping pen. You would literally need to smoke about 20 cigarettes that would amount to one pen. So, I mean, and depending on smoking habits, there may be people who smoke 20 cigarettes a day. But for the doctor, he thinks that's alarming because for him, and I'm sure like many doctors out there, you're inhaling anything but air. That's a problem.
It definitely is. Well, we'll have to continue monitoring this story as it develops. Zach, great reporting, and we really appreciate you coming on the program and speaking to us down here in Southwest Missouri. I hope things are great in Kansas City this weekend, and I hope you have a great weekend up there.
You too, John. Take care.
All right, Zach, thanks so much. We'll have more Ozarks Tonight coming up right after this.